Hey guys, William Whatley here, Prorituals Artistic Director. Have I got an amazing educational program for you today. Everybody's been waiting for the Power Platinum 9 Plus with the Chromo Prism bonder infused. It is an organic bonder, not a synthetic bonder. This is gonna blow you away. I'm gonna show you what this does in our models today. We had one of our design team members, her name is Nikki, and how do you pronounce your last name? Swasik. I'm going to have Edison bring up, now you know what, Edison, let's show everybody what Nikki looks like now. So guys, this is Nikki, and we pre-lightened her with the 9 Plus with 20 vol for 40 minutes. Danny and her did this. This is Danny Rivera. He's on the artistic team also. So I just want you guys to look. So we lifted her to what is actually the optimum level 10 with that yellow. So with Prorituals, we want to get rid of the yellow, and we have a process called pre-toning. And in our high lift series, there is a color called 10SP. That is a level 10 silver pearl. This is a go-to product. So what I'm going to have Danny do today right now is we got her to a level 10. She's got yellow, but now I'm going to have Edison pull up her before of what she had 2 days ago. Once you guys see what Nikki's hair looked like yesterday, and let me just tell you, Nikki has a different color on her head every time you see her. So not only does the Power Platinum 9 Plus bonder infused with the Chromo Prism technology work on just getting the hair light, it also helps remove any other color, especially the vivids. So now that you've seen her before, I'm going to have, let's go back live now to Nikki. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take in our high lift series is 10SP. It's a level 10 silver pearl. So we've got her to a nice yellow. So now we're going to take the 10SP, and Danny's going to apply that all over her head. He's going to put some spray treat on her first, because we like the spray treat, because the spray treat, it evens out the porosity, and it also, as we go along, we can use it in all of our other formulas, because we're going to be showing you how to use your high lifts with your metallics after you've used your Power 9, your Power Platinum 9. I want you guys to be able to have a whole range, because Prorituals, we're a permanent and a semi-permanent color line. We do not have a demi-permanent line. So in other words, we don't have an extra bottle of something that's an activator. We can do everything that a permanent, a semi-permanent, and a demi-permanent line of color can do, all within our own portfolio, just by adding a couple of other products that we have in our high lifts, and especially in the blonde rituals. So what we did on Nikki is we used the Power Platinum 9 Plus. We used 20 volume and just put it on where it was needed, and in about 35 minutes it was done. And so you're going to get about 20 to 40% more activity and more energy release with your 9 Plus, your Power Platinum 9 Plus with the bonder infused. But it's, remember, it's there's a transparent coating going over around each and every hair, so it's protecting the hair as it's breaking down the melanin. Lightener is, all lighteners, they're going to break down the hair at some point. But our lightener, we want it to break down the melanin. Crush the melanin so small that light reflects through it, so that when we go in and we want to put in a metallic color or a high lift or a super high lift, as a toner, we can do that in a depositing way instead of a high lift way. So with Danny now putting the 10SP, and I just want to have him turn the head a little bit more towards me, and Edison, just swing in there, and you can already start to see that the 10SP is removing all of the yellow. The reason why we want to remove all the yellow is that when you go to apply another color over the top of it, it doesn't have to fight the yellow. When you're formulating with the metallics or with the high lifts, they're at such a high level, their pigment load is not as strong as a lower level. So they don't have the ability to fight yellow. So Prorituals, we have a completely different approach to pre-toning to get rid of that yellow, so that when you put your desired color on over the top of it, it now doesn't become a toner, it becomes a permanent hair color. So with the 10SP all over her, all over Nikki, you're going to see her turn to a beautiful silver pearl from the before that she had 2 days ago. Normally, most of that hair, and you guys have all been with me, you know, through thick and thin, there's been times where there's hair that's gone down the sink and you're like, oh no, what do I do now? With the Prorituals, blonding and lightening and toning rituals, you're going to get perfect results every time. So now I'm going to have Danny just take Nikki off and finish her off set, and I want to bring in another model for us, and I want to talk to you about mixing your high lifts and your metallics and your super high lifts together to create the tone that you want. So for me, we have in our high lifts, we've got a 10SA, a 10SP, and a 10S. And then we have 2 level 12s. But remember, the higher the high lift, the more ammonia you're going to have. So what we do is by taking and adding as a deposit color. So for example, if I want to take and mix my 12 AV with my metallics, because this is a perfect example. So Savannah, what we did is she came to us and she had probably about, I would say, 6.5 inches of outgrowth and very, very ashy ends. With her skin tones and her eye tones, I really wanted to warm it up, but I also wanted it to be permanent because she's got fine hair and I wanted it to be a little warmer, but have some contrast. So what we did with Savannah is, and if you can see the before, and then when we show you the after, again, because of the Power Platinum 9, we literally just through Danny's technique of double foiling, back-to-back slices, we were able to remove the virgin, but also melt into her ash without causing unnecessary damage to the hair. Because I want you guys to see, so we literally sliced every single hair on Savannah's head so that we could give her a nice glow at her base, but also give her some contrast throughout her head so that it would be some warmth, there would be some cool, there'd be some honey, and we did that by mixing in, we used a mixture of our metallics. We used a 12V, a 12AV, and then we mixed in the 10IC to give a nice contrast. But when you're using the high lift as a depositing color, you guys, I want you to remember this. It's a really easy key. Spray treat not only is a great porosity controller, but it has the lowest pH of all of our products. So it's really used a lot in our coloring, because what happens is that when you use a level 12 high lift that normally is used to go up instead of down, if you mix a third, if you mix your 12AV, your metallic color that you want, and then a third of your formula is spray treat, and how much ever you do, you might need 30 grams, 30 grams, 30 grams. It depends on how much hair you have. What the spray treat does is, because the alkali completely changes the ammonia level, it knocks it down so that now a super high lift can be used as a deposit color to create those beautiful, soft, wonderful tones and hues and high chroma colors. By using the spray treat, it knocks that 1.6, 1.7 ammonia that's in a high lift, because we're trying to get 4 or 5 levels of lift. When you use the spray treat, and it's always in a third, as depositing, you will knock down your amount of ammonia because of the pH and the alkali disparity of spray treat. So anytime you want to have a beautiful 12V or a 10SP or a 12P, or you want to mix the high lifts with the metallics, mix it with a third of the formula with spray treat so it knocks the ammonia down. So you basically will have almost an ammonia-free permanent hair color done to the hair. So with Savannah, that's what we did, and I just want to make sure that we stay very COVID conscious. So we had Savannah. It took about, do we have a shot of Savannah with her processing, Edison? All right, so what we did with Savannah is we went in and we pre-lightened her with the 9+, the Power Platinum 9+, guys, and again, we did it back-to-back foils, sliced it to where there was no hair left at all. But we did a nice blend and a melt from the root down, all in the same foil. And just remembering that you can always add spray treat to any of your high lifts that you're using to deposit, not to lift, but to deposit. So I just want to show you the nice contrast on Savannah's hair, because what we did is put in 2 different colors, and we broke her base a little bit, all at the same time after we had pre-lightened her at the bowl. Most of this was done after we pre-lightened her, was done at the shampoo bowl, and the next thing as we get into our Prorituals blonding and toning is going to be shampoo bowl art, to where there's some things that you can do at the shampoo bowl that you don't have to bring them back to the chair. But I just want to show you, just with a little bit of our spray shine, our glow shine, I'm just going to take a little bit of a mist. And guys, when you're using spray glow shine, please don't spray it directly on the head. A nice mist over the top gives you plenty of product. A wide tooth comb, and then I just want to show you the shine that she got with the Power Platinum 9 Plus. Guys, she's got fine, fragile hair. So even though she was so dark, we were able to get her to a level 10 and 11 and 12 without damaging her hair. That's where the Gargum, the protective transparent layer that's in our Power Platinum 9, will protect the hair. It's not synthetic. So just know that when you're using our Power Platinum, it's going to give you 20 to 40% lighter and faster action, but it's going to give you 75% more protection than a synthetic bonder. So I just want to go through and just show you the nice contrast that Savannah has with her hair. I'm going to spin you around. And you can see how we get a nice melt. And I just want to show you literally so that you see how everything blends beautifully. This is why the Power Platinum 9 works so well, is because it's very, very low ammonia. And talking to the chemist, they tried to explain to me, because it's low ammonia and because the keratin, the vegetable keratin hydrolyzed protein is infused into it, it's almost timed released. So your ammonia is not going to it's not going to be as strong as it was when you first put it on. So it will allow you to have an even lightening process throughout the strand, especially in the cold shaft. So on Savannah, what we did is we made sure that we used a 10 where we needed the least amount of lift, but in her mid shaft where it was cold, we did add a little bit of 20 in that foil so that we would make sure that when we're done, it was an even color all the way around. And I'm just going to have, just cover your face. I'm just going to have you flip your head over for me, just so that you can see all the different colors that by just adding those 3 different colors and then the pre-toning with the 10SP. Guys, 10SP is going to get you out of trouble no matter what. If you've got somebody that's a level 8 and you haven't pulled them up to a level 10 to where you need to have them to get that beautiful blonde with a metallic or a high lift, go to your 10SP, and your 10SP, it won't make it any lighter, but it will remove at least 50% of that unwanted yellow. But if you're using the Power Platinum 9 Plus, you're going to get to that level of 10, because we always say that we want you to get to at least a level 10 pre-lightened to create the colors that you're seeing everybody bring to you in Pinterest. So, I mean, the shine, and you can tell with the texture of her hair how fine it is, but it's just beautiful, and that is a mixture of our high lift, which is our level 12, and a mixture of our metallics. And then we mixed in our spray treat to make sure that we knock down the ammonia content in the high lift, because it was for a deposit color only. So this is the difference between our toners, if you want to say, and why that we don't have a separate accelerator to add to a dim-eye line, is because this is a permanent hair color. It's not just a toner. That's the difference between Prorituals and the majority of the other ones out there. Toners were invented to get your client out the door before it faded and they saw the yellow pop through. Our toners are designed to be permanent hair colors. That's why our metallic line works so well with our high lifts and our super high lifts. But I'm just telling you, I have used a lot of lighteners in my life, and I have burnt some hair over the last 35 years. Trust me, I have burnt some hair and tried 40 volume underneath the dryer, all that, told somebody that she was a level 2. Of course I can get you to a level 10. Yeah, and her hair left it with her in her bag, and she was crying. Those days, technology is so far advanced. So I just want you to understand that when you use the Power Platinum 9 Plus, there is a chromoprism technology infused in there. It's going to be a little lavender, so that's going to help you with that no yellow effect. And it's a low ammonia, and of course it's dust free. But I'm just going to. I want Savannah just to throw her head back and toss it around a little bit, shake it up, just get pretty and sexy and get ready to go home, because there's no place else to go anymore for a while. But you can see how the color just really, really pops, and it's soft and it's silky, and I'm gonna take a chance. You've had your hair bleached before.
Yes, definitely.
So after having the bleach, our Power Platinum 9, did you feel the difference from our bleach than from other bleaches? And be honest. I mean, we're live and there's hundreds of people watching us. But aren't you? Our conversation is that you were afraid, because your hair is so fine, that sometimes too much bleach burns it off.
Yeah, yes.
So I literally, after we done, and I promised her, because she said, I want my hair cut. And, there's always got to have a little bit of trim. Literally, by the time I got done with Savannah, I barely only had to cut maybe this much off of her ends, because of how the bonder protected the hair. So with the Power Platinum bonder, the Power Platinum 9 bonder infused, remember, it has that chromoprism technology in there that's going to give you that no yellow effect, and it's very, very low ammonia. And if you're going to use it with your high lifts as a color, not using it as a lifting color, just always put your spray treat in there. You can, as long as you're using a third of whatever mixture, because it depends on how much hair. Sometimes you might need 60 grams of color, and then 60 grams of developer, and then 60 grams of spray treat. It just depends on how long the hair is. But just remember, if you're going to be using our high lifts, and you love that 12 AV, which is a beautiful color, but then I also like the 10 Sun in the level 10, and that's what we mix together. The spray treat is what's going to make the ammonia content drop down, so now it becomes a permanent hair color, but very, very low ammonia. And I don't consider it a toner, I consider it a permanent color. This is going to last her a lot longer than just going in and getting a toner. So I'm going to have you exit away and finish up your makeup and doll up a little bit more. And so we have, if you can bring up the metallics just one more time. I want to talk to you guys about metallics, because I really kind of want to we're relaunching metallics. And in our book, we've still got our, we've added in our metallics. And we have, in our metallics, we have the ash blonde platinum iridescent. We have the copper blonde golden, which is my next model. We used that on her. And then we have a glacial blonde, and that is what's going to be used on Nikki after she does the 10SP, so that she winds up with that beautiful white. She's the one that, when you guys are in the waiting room, she is the girl that's on our picture for Power Platinum 9. And let me tell you, she's about a level 7, and it just works every time, and she colors her hair so many different colors all the time. So, but besides the 4 that we have in our book, there is 9 altogether. And I want you guys to understand how metallics work. The metallics work like this. They're not a toner. They're a hair color. But they need to be put on hair that has been pre-lightened to at least a 10, and then pre-toned with 10 SP. And that could take 10 minutes at the bowl. Depends on how much yellow is left in the hair after you pre-lighten, especially with the Power Platinum 9 Plus. I mean, we had Nikki lifted in 40 minutes. I mean, it was done. So, but I wanted to save the 10 SP and the metallics for today. But in your metallics that you have, that all the distributors have at their distributors, there's some things I need to tell you about. There's a 7 CP, there's a 9 CP, there's a 10N. These colors that are in the metallic line are pre-filled, pre-calibrated. So if you have somebody that is a level 12 or 10 or 11 blonde and you want to do a low light, we know how horrifying putting low lights in that light of hair, because a low light for somebody with that light of hair is a 9. If you wind up with a 6 or a 7 low light and somebody blonde, they think they have black hair. So I want you to, when you're going through and looking at the metallics, and as we move through more of our Prorituals, blonding and lightening and toning and metallic rituals, there'll be more formulas to come. But just remember, those of you that are out there that have had products that have a separate line that you had to purchase to go back in and do a tint back, or you want to do a low light on super blonde hair and it winds up muddy, in our metallics, the 7CP, the 9CP, and the 10N are amazing low lights. And remember, you can take the 7 and the 9 and make an 8. And you'll see on our next model, I took in our book, we've changed the name to it is 12 BCG copper blonde. Some of you have the older material. We're getting the new material. It was 12 RD. So what I want you to understand is that you can mix any of the metallics together to create whatever color and whatever hue you want. But if you don't pre-tone, they do not have the power to fight the yellow because they're designed to be a permanent hair color, not a toner. So by going in and doing a unique technique that is something I feel that is a Prorituals original that we figured out over the years of using the pre-toning, and that's something that can be done at the bowl. So it just removes the yellow, it cleans the palette, and then all you have to do is pick your metallics that you want to use, and if you want to do a low light, if you want to do a highlight, and you want to use one of the high lift colors, just make sure you use the spray treat in it. Your blondes are going to be out of this world. So just remember that with our metallics, we have more colors that are in the office that you can get to your distributors besides that are in the books, and especially for the low lights. Because I really want to get those out there to you guys because I'm having a lot of feedback and I'm trying to get as much information out to you guys as possible about low lighting and about taking a blonde and taking her down from like a 12 to a 7 or to a 7 or a 9, but it's pretty. It's not hollow. You need something that is pre-filled, pre-calibrated, that's not going to wind up like mud. That's what we have in the metallics. So please look into your metallics a little bit longer, a little bit more, because on our next model, we mixed we pre-lightened her, of course, and then we mixed the 12.43, which is the 12 RD or the blonde copper blonde now in the metallics. And then we went in and we mixed into that the 12 AV so that I could have a contrast. So I didn't want it to wind up too rosy. I wanted to have a nice, pretty sandy color. So by doing that, by mixing those two together, and again, I used spray treat, a third, a third, a third, so that I could tap down anything from the level 12, because I'm using it as a deposit color, not as a high lift. You know, most everybody right now, guys, is doing lifting, pre-lightening, bleaching, and then toning and coloring. I'm doing way less high lift tinting than I am pre-lightening and toning and coloring, because it's harder to get to that level that you want. And I just always recommend, this is a rule of thumb for me, for Prorituals. Yes, 40 volume. we've been told this our whole life, that if you take a level 6 and you want to be a level 10 and you add 40 volume, it should get you there. It might get you there, but it's going to be really warm. You know, so as a rule of thumb, I always, if I have to get higher than 4 levels and I don't want any warmth, I am going to pre-lighten the hair. And if I'm only wanting to lift 2 to 3 to 4 levels, I'm going to use my blue lightener. If I need to lift 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 levels, I am going to use our new Power Platinum Blonde with our bonder in it, because it's going to protect the hair. And again, it's about 20 to 40% faster than our blue lightener. And our blue lightener also has the protectants in it also. But that's why you can use both of them together. So when you get your blue light, when you get your Power Platinum 9 into the salon, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to get through so many more colors and so many more clients in a day. And especially, you know, I know COVID's there now and we're trying to maximize as much as possible. You can only have 1 client at a time. But imagine this, if you've got our Power Platinum 9 Plus and you can get somebody out in 2.5, 3 hours instead of 5 hours or 4.5 hours, you can get 2 more, you can get another person in. So that's what I kind of have felt with Prorituals and with the new packaging. And you know, I'm kind of gonna give you guys a little bit of a tip. We're gonna be doing seminars and rituals once to twice a month, starting in February. Our next one is going to be on our Pro Pigments 2.0. Give you a little bit of a teaser, and that is going to blow your socks off. I've had some of my artistic team doing a lot of different formulas, a lot of things that are going on with that. But that's going to be our next webinar. Will be on our Pro Pigments 2.0. But I think that we have our next model ready, and I'm going to bring Callie over. Come on over, sunshine. So this is what I wanted to talk about. If you look, I want you to just spin around for me. It's right there. So I took the metallics, 12 used to be 12RD. Now in our chart we've changed the name to 12BCG, blonde, copper, golden. But I didn't want it to be too rosy. So what I did is I took that and then I went over and I added, out of my high lift, my 12AV. And I mixed those equal parts, but then I put my spray treat a third. And let me tell you, Callie has a lot of hair, so we mixed up a lot of product. But you can see the different tonalities of how when Nikki went through there, and I don't know if you've got any of the shots of Callie up there with her process, because she was completely, yeah, she's 3. She was completely balayage, and Nikki did a great job for placement. But I wanted just to show you, there is one of our rings that has some of the metallics on it, but I want you guys to ask your distributors about your about the other metallics, because they really will help you, especially in your blondes. I want you guys to shine in your blondes. All of our designers and our artistic teams, and I want to say a special thanks to all my educators, all my design team members, and my artistic team especially. thank you guys so much. They have helped us so much over the last year and a half of getting everything up to speed. And right now, Sarah and myself and Lori are working on the curriculum that's going to be coming out. There's a whole, Prorituals is really putting its best foot forward. And the great thing about Prorituals is it's family owned and they care about the hairdresser. So that's why I'm with them. And you guys see some familiar faces that I have brought on to my artistic team that have came from other cultures. That's the culture that we're building with Prorituals. We really want the hairdresser to be taken care of. So by putting, so again, we went in, we did a, with the Power Platinum, Nikki did a 20 vol and a 30 vol for her application. Only in her coal shaft did she use her 30 vol, and that was only in the last part of the timing so that the colors would be even. So you can use higher and lower volumes to give yourself a contrast of color. And again, I like to just do a little bit of a mist in the air above the hair. And this is great for you girls and guys on my teams that are on stage. This is a great way to make sure that you never wind up with too much product on the hair. Glow Shine can tend to be a little heavy if you don't have it at least 8 to 12 inches away from the hair. But I want to have you show. You can see this, you can already see the shine, and she's got super long hair. I didn't want to put too much curl in it because I really wanted you to see the contrast. I'm going to spin you around. Look how beautiful. How beautiful that color is. Literally. Super shiny. And I'm just going to take and just go right back to the center here because I want to again show you guys what this looks like when I turn her head. It's not just about what it looks like from the center. It's about what it looks like from all parts of the head. I mean, look at that. That's absolutely gorgeous. And I want her to be able to see those tonal values. And by pre-toning and by using the Power Platinum 9 Plus with its bonder infused protectant, again, she's got that delicate hair, and she is a client that gets bleached in tone, bleached in tone, bleached in tone. I mean, she has that lived-in hair. We just wanted to give her a completely different look. Do we have her before up? And then I am gonna, when he has your before up, I'm gonna have you stay right where you're at, and then I'm gonna place you guys so that we can be social distanced, so that they can see your guys' pretty face with the befores and the afters. Will that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You got her before up right now? All right. So I'm gonna take your cape off, and then I'm gonna just step away, and then I want you to just stand up, and then remove your mask, and then just give me a little model, give me a little spin, throw your hair around a little bit, stay right in front of that camera. There you go. Guys, this is what Prorituals is all about. I'm super excited about our our Power Platinum 9 Plus with our bonder infused, because you cannot get hair color this light, this shiny, and this healthy without taking care of the hair. And remember, our product does not have a synthetic bonder. It is a vegan-based hydrolyzed keratin. in our bonder. So you're not going to have to worry about that, that breakage that a synthetic bonder gives. So I'm going to have you stand right there. And every question, and there's going to be a lot of questions. And guys, this is the first webinar, but there's going to be a lot of questions. So you can always email me. Most of you have my, most of you guys have my cell number. Or you can DM me. But we're going to have a whole page dedicated to questions and answers on our website. And then as we go along with our videos, we're working on a whole system that as we have those materials done, you'll be able to probably download them immediately. This is our first one. I just wanted to get out here and get you guys going with our Power Platinum 9 Plus with our bonder, with the Chromo Prism infused protectant, and just give you I just want to start us having a culture, where we're connecting, because you guys don't see me a lot. You know that I'm probably working in an office somewhere, or working in a salon doing a photo shoot or whatever. But as soon as COVID is over, we are going to start doing live education. And I just want you to know there's probably 4 or 5 distributors right now that have booked some live education, and as soon as those are locked in stone, we will make sure that we get those out to you, whether you want to travel to them or if they're in your area. So I'm going to bring over Savannah, and I'm going to have you just stand right here so if we can get all 3 of them in a shot, wide enough where they're social distanced. But while we're here and we're talking about the Power Platinum 9 Plus with our infused bonder, besides the color, how does your hair feel? It feels
Very healthy, I would say.
Soft and healthy.
Yeah. We've got Callie and Savannah. I want to thank them very much. Anne-Marie Modeling Agency got them to me, and I want to thank Anne-Marie for that, and they have been amazing models. So I'm going to have them go ahead and escort off. Okay guys, I'm going to give you one more reason why Power Platinum 9 Plus is going to blow you away. First of all, it has a hydrolyzed soy protein in it. So basically what that means, so when you lay that on the scalp, it's gluten-free. Can't get any better than that with lightener. So we just got this done. She hasn't been dried yet, but I just want to show you guys. This is what pre-toning does. So by taking that 10 SP, going over all that yellow, you can see that she is going to have a beautiful silver platinum blonde. So the color that you see that was in the, this is the exact same formula that we used on her when we used her for the cover for the Power Platinum Blonde. So if you can show her before with her crazy vivid color hair, that's her before. That's Nikki's before. When Nikki's hair is dried now, it's going to be the picture that you saw when you were waiting in your waiting room. That is going to be Nikki's after. Okay, so we saw what the metallics did on Nikki wet. Let's bring in her finished look. Okay guys, we've had a lot of fun showing you the demos of our models for the Power Platinum 9 Plus infused with our Chromo Prism technology bonder and our metallics. So there's a lot of chemistry that goes behind this, and I want to make sure that you guys understand this. So I'm going to have the picture of Nikki brought up with the Power Blonde flyer while I go through all of the information that you need to know. Because otherwise, you'll be bored to death. At least you get a look at a pretty girl instead of me with my glasses. Okay, guys. To mix and use the new Power Platinum 9 Plus Bonder Infused, it's simple. First of all, we want you to use our developers, of course, but the mixing ranges work like this: 1:1 and 1:2, depending on your preference or texture and consistency and technique. 1:1 will offer you a thicker consistency, ideal for open air, freehand techniques, a quick add-on service, because if you mix it 1:1, it's going to be stronger, of course. So I want you to know that mixing it 1:2 will offer you a thinner consistency, greater spreadability, and it allows you to do on-the-scalp techniques. And it's also ideal for foiling, mixing it 1:2. You don't have to worry about it bleeding as long as you're not under the hottest dryer in the whole wide world. And yes, you will get up to 9 levels of lift. It's fast acting, and one of the key things that I want you guys to understand about the Power Platinum is it will give you 20 to 50% faster lifting action. It's low ammonia, and it also, with our Chromo Prism technology inside of it, it gives you a no yellow effect. So by having a low ammonia, and then this is the kicker, guys, we do not have a synthetic bonder. It is a vegan bonder. So what you're putting on the hair is never going to snap off pre-lightened hair. That makes our lightener better than everybody else's. So there'll be a lot more information on the website going into the ingredients, going into everything, and letting you know exactly what you're using. But I want to give you one little bit of another reason why the Power Platinum 9 is it's also gluten-free. And you're not going to find that anywhere else. So make sure you go to Prorituals.com. We'll have all this up, and you'll be able to see this and download it and read it yourself. If any of you are out there interested in being part of our design team and our educational team, and you're in an area where you can't, where you're trying to get Prorituals, please reach out to us. You know, go to Prorituals.com. You can go to education@robanda.com, which is my email. You can always go to my any of my social media stuff, William Whatley Hair. But I just want to make sure that you guys know that there's enough of us that we can help you. And all the distributors out there, I really want to give a special thanks, because these distributors are working very, very hard to try to get you guys as much education as possible during this time. It's not going to be like this forever. I believe that you know, the Spanish flu happened in 18 and 19 of, you know, the 19th century. After that became the Roaring 20s. I honestly believe once we get through this, we're going to have the highest attendance in education that we've had in the last 15, 20 years. And so much innovative technology. And just from my personal word to you, I'm always trying to find the best products that we can find to bring to you and keep reinventing things. We have some other products that are coming out that we'll be launching soon. We have a gel coming out. It is a 3-purpose gel. It's to give you volume. It's to give you hold for a guy. Has a nice thick consistency. But if you cocktail it with our mousse, it'll give you tons of volume. And if you cocktail it with our Dream Cream, it will revert curl. So I'm trying to always bring out products that will do more than just 1 or 2 things. So from all of us at Prorituals, our fearless leaders, Ralph Petruccelli, who is our National Prorituals Director, all the way from our CEO, our President, and my dear, dear friend, Lori, who just had a baby. Congratulations. I feel part of the Prorituals family, and I want everyone out there to feel like they're a part of the Prorituals family, and especially the distributors that have taken a chance on me and on us. We won't fail you. I really enjoyed being with you guys today, and look for our next release for the next date on the Pro Pigments 2.0. Thank you guys so much. I enjoyed being with you today. And guys, for full details and everything printed out with all those crazy ingredients and names and stuff, just go to prorituals.com. It'll all be there. But just remember the superior product that you're going to be using. Super excited.